Oh yeah. So just talking to this.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't gotta like hold it right there.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, if you could just start off by introducing yourself.
So my name is Ben Ryan Torres Jr. I was born in Angleton, Texas, in Brazoria County, which is the cradle of Texas. I'm 22 years old, and my major is wildlife biology with a minor in ag mech.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been at San Marcos?
So I've been visiting San Marcos since I was about 15, 16, because my siblings, I'm the youngest of the family of the siblings.
How many siblings?
I am 4. So
Cool.
me and 3 others.
Nice.
So I was the youngest. So my brother and my sister came here. They came here and I'd always visit them. But I've been living in San Marcos since 2024. So yeah, it's been great, man.
Where's your folks from originally?
Angleton.
Angleton, where's that?
So it's in Brazoria County, which is like the southeast Texas. It's called the armpit of Texas, but it's an hour south of Houston. You go down 288, you're gonna run into Angleton.
Is it by Louisiana?
No. It's more like, I think it's southwest of. So okay, you got Houston here, you got Galveston,
Yeah.
and then you got Brazoria County right here.
Okay, cool.
You
ever going to Houston much?
Not really. Not if I can help it.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's
So let's start by talking a little bit about what you've learned here at Texas State.
what I've learned here. Are we talking academically or life lessons?
Both.
Academically, let's see. I've learned a lot about Texas. Semester prior, last spring semester, I took Texas geography or Texas geology or Texas geography.
Okay.
But I learned about soil types. I've learned about rock formations, all these great things. Right now, I'm learning stoichiometry. It's where you use grams, moles, and mass and atoms and everything, and you try to use math, algebra, to find something like that, which is actually like what I'm about to take an exam for.
What's your exam over?
It's Unit 2. It's exam 2, but it's Foundations of Chemistry. See, I can't continue until I get that out of the way. But I got to be in it. But last semester, my academic advisor thought it was a great idea to do statistics, physics, and Foundations of Chemistry all in the same semester.
How many physics credits did you have to do?
I'm not sure. I think 1 or 2. Like 1 or 2 classes or 1 or 2 credits. As you can clearly see, I'm not the brightest student.
How do you enjoy those harder sciences?
I think how do I enjoy it? That's a good question. I try to apply it into what I want to do. Soil sciences, stuff like that. Everything has chemistry. Everything has chemistry. I tan deer pelts. I used to tan animal hides, and I read a book about it, and there's a lot of chemistry in that. And I weld. A lot of chemistry in that. All these trees. So I try to apply it to what I'm passionate about, and that just gets my engine going. It gets me roaring and ripping and roaring and all that good stuff. And it's tough, but it's only temporary.
It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of stuff do you want to do post grad?
So that's a good question. What I want to do, since I have ag mech with a minor in biology, wildlife bio as a major, I want to help farmers and ranchers return their land to a more native ecosystem. So when you drive, you may not notice it, but the ground is very barren. It's overgrazed. Or there's a lot of invasive species. KR bluestem, Johnson grass, Bermuda grass, which is like the biggest culprit. And all these subdivisions, they only use Bermuda grass. It's not healthy. So, and they use a lot of fertilizer and a lot of hay money. That's a lot of money that they're investing for short-term relief. Whereas if you were to return the soil to It's more native grasses, big blue stem, little blue stem, yellow Indian grass, switchgrass. Not only does it benefit the farmer and the rancher, it helps benefit the cattle. It helps benefit ecosystems as a whole. My philosophy was that, let's see, so cowboys in the 1800s, right?
Yeah.
Cowboys in the 1800s, what do? They go on the Chisholm Trail, and they just go from San Antonio all the way up to Kansas, and that's just all that Great Plains before we introduced any foreign grasses, and it supplied us with beef. The land provided us, and it even no. So my thing is that if it worked back then, howdy. If it worked back then, why can't it work now? If it worked back then, why can't it work now? And there's so many more benefits to native grasses, and like I could go from going agriculturally to community to culturally on a statewide thing.
So you're really into the grass side of things.
Yeah, I believe everything starts with the grass. It starts with the water. It starts with the water first.
Yeah, big time.
We are.
Have you followed the developments of data centers here in San Marcos?
I followed them. Yes, I did. When we had the San Marcos, that meeting, that town hall meeting where everybody was out on the lawn.
Went on until the morning.
Yep, I spoke.
Wow, really?
I did speak.
Wow, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
I'm sure if you go and look up the video of it, you'll see me at the very end. I'm like 123 of 125.
Okay, cool, nice.
And I'm over there in a deer pelt cape. I'm in my boots and jeans and my belt and everything. Trying to make myself very grassroots.
Yeah, I like that.
So
what was that night like for you? We're to bring things back to
to people?
the thing. How did it change your views on public speaking and community engagement?
So I used to do a lot of volunteer work back home so I understand just a little bit of it. But what gets me going for public speaking, right? Because I've already spoke for Texas Parks and Wildlife. They had a whole thing at their headquarters. But my view is that things are dire right now. I believe things are dire. We're in a really bad drought. We're running out of water. Corpus Christi is about to run out of water. And my family have been cowboys. They used to be cowboys, but then my dad got out of it. I want to get back into it.
Okay.
But history-wise, we used to be Lipan Apache, and we fought for this land. We bled for this land. We made culture in this land. My great-grandpa was a fiddler. Yeah. And they gave up so much for me, and it doesn't feel right for me to just sit here idly by while I watch my state being destroyed. Yeah. My homeland's being destroyed. So, but when I saw all these people, right, it gave me hope. It was very bipartisan. I saw very conservative people there, and I saw the hippies and I saw the cowboys, and they were shaking hands, sharing cigarettes, all that good stuff, and we all want the same thing. We all want a connection to the land. We all want to return to the land. Nobody wants to be in this concrete jungle where there's noise and traffic. They want genuine connection. They want peace. And the only way that I have found that people could achieve it is by working hard, working with the land, and working with the community. But the thing is that nowadays they've really maximized profits. You can't have profit and community at the same time.
Very alienated from those things.
You can either have one or the other. You can't have both. You can have gradual profit and gradual community. But you gotta find that balance, and that balance lies in nature. It lies within the grass. It lies in the prairies. Could you imagine? Waylon Jennings, right?
Oh yeah.
Waylon Jennings, Willie Nelson,
yeah.
Big country stars. Big outlaw country singers. And what do they always sing about? Prairies. They always mention prairies, or that small Texas feeling. What makes Texas is not these corporate people from Silicon Valley. It's the people, but it's also the land. You know, it's open spaces. And it was I had like a whole motto: open spaces and wild spaces. You know, open. Okay, wild places, open spaces.
Okay, that rolls better.
There we go. Got it. But you know, and I want to share that. You know, I try to share that as much as you can. You go to Sewell, right? I'll be throwing a lasso. And
I saw you the other day.
Mhm.
I saw that was you.
That was me.
Like, who's that guy with the lasso?
That is me.
I was playing frisbee with a buddy of mine.
Frisbee Dan or
No, not frisbee Dan.
Yeah.
Not cool enough to play with frisbee Dan.
Yeah.
I'd like to interview him one day, if he's like that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. How long have you been lassoing?
Let's see. I used to lasso when I was a kid. You know, when I say kid, I'm like teenager, but I really got out of it. Technology got in the way, school got in the way, life got in the way, and then one day I was like, I'm sick of this shit. I wanna get outside again. I need to do all this. And I look up in my apartment. There's my lasso. So I just got recently back into it, back in late February, early March. And I failed horribly. I was like throwing it, like if I was throwing to that tree, right, I'd be going 5 feet to the left or 5 feet to the right. But persistence and accepting failure will get you to the success that you want to get to. You know, try new things, because you're going to love who you come out to be on the other side. You only know who you are now, but once you try a new thing or try a new skill, well, that just adds on to you. That builds character. So, and when people see that lassoing, right, they get interested. Like, oh my gosh, this guy's throwing a lasso. They either think, oh, this guy's a weirdo, or that's really cool.
Yeah.
And they start talking about, like, how did you get into it? You know, like you're doing right now. And I talk about prairies. I talk about culture. I talk about Texas history, all from throwing a lasso.
Cool.
Because, yeah, and it
it's, gosh, I'm sure it's very ingrained with, our history.
Oh, yeah, I mean, cowboys.
Cattle, man.
Cowboys, and I think we're losing that. I think we're definitely losing that to, like I said, the corporate culture. Subdivision. They don't have a connection to the land, you know. And, yeah, man. So that's what I try to do. I try to get people talking. Get out of your phone and start talking.
Yeah, gosh, that's a big thing nowadays. Everything's so chronically online.
Mm-hmm. But
paranoid.
You know, paranoid. And dude, you want a good book to read? Look up The Anxious Generation.
I've heard of that.
You know what? I tell you what, I got it with me right now.
Oh, nice. They had a welding, sculpting competition at the Ag building.
Yeah.
Did you do that?
I did not. Sadly not. I was taking care of my dog. You've probably seen the dog. You seen that little black dog running around Sewell? If you saw me, you probably saw.
I remember seeing you lassoing, but I don't recall a dog.
Well, I don't. They probably know Maggie. If these people are listening, if you know Maggie May, the little black border collie at San Marcos, that is my dog. Because we try to go.
Dog's your dog.
Oh no, everybody knows Maggie May. Everybody knows Maggie May. She has this whole routine, dude. She has this whole routine where she'll walk up to somebody, and she'll keep her head down, and then right as they're about to go, oh, as soon as they're about to go pet her, she gets on her back and starts shimmying on her back, and it's a showstopper, dude. And
I may have seen her. I'm getting something.
Here, you know what? Hold up. I got a picture of her.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on. I got all these dang notifications. There we go. That's her.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. But yeah, man.
Nice.
And it's really great. It gets me talking to people. You know, it gets me talk. Yeah, like, cause I used to be a really bad hermit, man. I used to be like, not talking to anybody, like, room in my room nonstop. But I started going out more. I started staying at school, and this goes for any of y'all out there. If y'all want to get a stepping stone on your way to being better at socializing, start at school. It's a very friendly place. Everybody's looking out for each other.
Nice.
You don't have to worry about anybody stealing your shit. You know, it's really great. So start there. You know, learn a skill. Bring a skill out there. Try to learn a new skill, and people are going to come up to you and talk. You know, I used to fish over there too. I shouldn't say this because campus police couldn't. Probably.
Is it prohibited to fish over there?
Apparently it is. But I did catch some big ones in my day.
Wow.
So, you know, and I've in my day back in the old days, but I've taught fathers and daughters how to fish there.
That's cool.
I've taught mothers and sons how to fish there because they never and that was a culture shock to me too, where people, like, all these people and very few know how to fish. And I anytime I see my grandpa, I'm like, thank you for teaching me. Thank you for giving me this, not skill, but like this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because it gets people talking, and all that good stuff. But yeah, I don't want to overdo the talking, man.
No, it's all great. Talking's all we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, on the topic of technology and you know, people getting distanced from, you know, the land and the nitty-gritty of nature. How do you feel about the development of social media in relations to, you know, our generation in these past?
So
we'll say post-COVID.
Post-COVID, I believe. I don't want to like say we're getting stupider, but we're getting. I can't say that.
Yeah, it's okay to say that.
Okay, but we're getting stupider. We are 100% getting more stupid. All these AI slop. Like, I try to open Instagram, right? You know, because I dabble in a little. I like a little dopamine fix every now and then. You know, who doesn't? Anyways, but it's all slop, and it's like it's just so revolting. You know, I'm like, there are bigger fish to fry. I mean, you got the Epstein files. The gas prices are going. You know, there's this sense of like dread in the air whenever you just open a phone. And I haven't seen it, but I've been hearing that people are going to flip phones, and they're
I've been seeing those, but they're like smart flip phones.
Smart flip phones, but like, I just want, and we're losing our connection to each other. I remember when I was a kid, you know, going to church with my grandparents. It would be a firm handshake, and how are you doing, son? You know, like all that good stuff. Like my old boss, I used to make boots and saddles when I was in high school. Wow. Yeah, and like that's another thing too. We don't have trades like that. We don't have skill. We don't have trades. We all outsource it to either foreign nations or to these big corporations who put them in sweatshops.
Yeah.
Whereas you could probably be a blacksmither. I could make boots and saddles and belts. I wish I had my belt on me, because I have a whole custom-made belt that I made myself, sewing and everything. And I'm so sick of over-relying on technology. If anything, it's made things more difficult, more complicated. You know, like I used to work at Whataburger, and you have to use a damn touchscreen. Whereas I tell you, like, here, I want this and this. You know what I can do with a pen and pencil? Okay. Here's the thing, and then go about your day. But it's so over-reliant, and I'm just so sick of it. It's like it's pushed onto us, and we don't even get a say. Like, nobody wants the AI data centers, but they keep pushing it, you know? And the AI, nobody wants it. They keep pushing it. Nobody wants these subdivisions. Well, they keep pushing it. You know what?
Yeah.
Like, I remember when this stretch of I-35 was so pretty and so green and full of farmers and ranchers along this highway, and now it's dust.
Yeah.
It is dust and smog. Like, I went into San Antonio 3 weekends ago, And I would have thought I was back in the 1970s by how much pollution was in the air, and I was sick. Because these people who come in here, D.R. Morton, or D.R. Horton or D.R. Morton, that's one of his names. But he makes all these big subdivisions, and they use big fountains like at the top. I'm like, are you shitting me? Whoever approved this needs their ass kicked. I am so like, how dare you come into my state and take up my water resources, like our water resources, for a home for rent. It's not even a home to own. It's a home for rent. And I am just sick. And I'm not trying to get angry or anything, but it's a very sensitive topic for me because
It's upsetting.
It's very upsetting, and all these small towns get replaced. You know, all the families that once knew each other, what do? They get undermined. They get undermined. You know, and that's another thing too, is that what you're seeing today, I believe, is modern day colonization.
Decolonization?
Modern day colonization. But I'm not really a big type of guy to like colonization. You know, I don't try to play that word, but I see the definition, and I see what it's applied to. You got all these people coming from out of state, and they look down on us. They look down on our culture. They think of us as just backwood rednecks who don't mean nothing. You know, oh, your way of life is backwards. Our way of life is better. So what do? They come and displace farmers and ranchers. They want our resources. They take our water. They take our land, and they use it for their benefit. It doesn't come back to us. It's not. And I want people to know this. This is not a black, white, red, yellow, straight, gay subject. This is you and me. This is our land. We all share the ground that we walk on. We all share the water that we drink, whether we know it or not. And you're getting screwed out of it. I'm getting screwed out of it. Future generations are getting screwed out of it because it just keeps getting falling up to the. You ever watch that movie Rango? I'll tell you.
Love Rango, man.
It's a water crisis, right?
Yeah.
It's about how all these farmers and ranchers are having to sell out because they can't afford to keep going.
Yeah.
And who are these these elites? You remember the fucking Torres?
Yeah.
Who does that remind you of? The water crisis, Torres, Governor Greg Abbott.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't want to, wheelchair to wheelchair.
But I mean,
what I was thinking about.
The parallels are there, man.
Yeah.
He creates a water crisis, sells out the people of the dirt, people of the town of Dirt, people of Texas, and then he develops it. He wants to make this big old industrial, technological place, right where all those homes used to be, all where that town used to be. So we're all getting affected. Everybody has their own thing, right? Everybody has their own little nitpicks on each other, but you got to put that shit aside and work with each other. Because while we're focusing on these little you're Muslim, well, you're Christian, well, you're white, you're black, they are stealing from us while we're so occupied with this damn culture war. And that's what I hate about that. Freedom of speech, great. I love freedom of speech. My forefathers fought and died for this. But this is just a mockery of our people. You're trying to bait us into a damn culture war when we got pedophiles.
Do you know what clip farming is?
Clip farming, yeah. And they liberal is owned or some shit.
Yeah.
Or Republican MAGA crazy person owned. And, all these big headlines on social media where it gets the dopamine grinding.
It's just farming outrage.
Outrage. Manufactured outrage. When you put your phone down and you start saying hello to people and you start shaking their hand and greet them with a smile, you realize shit's not all that bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Between all these people here, shit's not all that bad. But what's happening environmentally, that's all of our problems. Whether you can put your head in the sand and just let it happen, or you can fight it. and you can fight it. I'm not saying like two arms. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is just start talking to people. Say, hey, you see these problems, I see these problems. Let's put our shit aside and let's go at it. Let's just.
What did you talk about with Kate?
I talked about water. I talked about same thing I'm talking with you. Water, culture, community. I feel like, and just try to push it into Jesus Christ or Iran. And I'm like, Iran is not my fucking problem. Iran is not my problem. Because Vietnam, Iraq, and now Iran. 3 pointless wars. Venezuela is a whole. I kind of do agree on Venezuela, and you may not agree with me on that.
And there's definitely valuable nuance in all of these things because bad people are everywhere.
Bad people everywhere, but I use the fallacy of or the idea of a copperhead snake. Oh, are you about to pack up?
No, keep talking.
Okay, so I use the idea of a copperhead snake, right? When you think of a copperhead, what do you think?
The snake?
Yeah, copperhead snake, like, or cottonmouth. You know what a cottonmouth is, or a water moccasin?
You said, what do I think of when I think of the thing? And I was like, I think of a snake.
Yeah, but it's a venomous snake, and everybody's like super scared of it.
Yeah.
Everybody's afraid of it, and the first idea is to attack it and just stomp it, But if you just sit back and you watch it, well, it won't do anything.
Yeah.
It won't, here, I'll show you this picture of this copperhead snake that I saw.
When I was, I think the day I saw you lassoing at the river, there was a buddy of mine spotted a plain-bellied snake.
Yeah.
By the river, and that was nice.
See, this snake could have bit me 10 times if it wanted to. Yeah. Because I was just flipping logs and chopping them and everything.
Yeah.
But it didn't. So I just sat there and watched. And he just stayed there. So I tried to poke him with a stick to just get him moving. I don't want him to be in broad daylight where somebody's going to freak out. And he didn't even curl up and try to strike. He got away. And I think that's the foreign policy that we need. I'm not, and they try to use what if they're super duper violent and they got a nuke? If they got a nuke and they're about to strike us, that's a whole other situation. But if they're just minding their own business, leave them be. Observe it. If it starts to be concerning, observe, but do not interfere. That's, whether it be Mexico, whether it be Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, if it actually affects us, if it is actually going to destroy us, or they are causing some sort of poison that is getting into our nation, that is poisoning our children, or is poisoning, or is hurting us, or like criminals, yeah. Take on that, but don't interfere with that damn nation. And then don't be surprised when they launch a nuke at you, because you agitated it, and you use aggressive policy, and you were just praying for a war. There's politicians out there that were praying for a war with Iran, and now they got it. And what do we get? High gas prices, higher utility bills. We get screwed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a sham. That's a sham. It's just it's designed to create divide. But this here,
can you say the quote the event is called?
what's that?
Can you say the quote the event is called?
Venice call?
The event.
Pick up the mic or something.
Yeah, they call it "Prove Me Wrong."
Prove me wrong.
The whole thing is, I'm taking a stand.
I'm right. I'm always right.
Yeah.
But it doesn't even feel genuine. It does. It feels like she's reading off a script, like a coach taught her. I mean, you saw how I was talking compared to how she was talking, right? It was very different. Speech patterns are very different.
I didn't catch those conversations, but I did actually submit a letter to the school newspaper regarding their whole shebang.
Yeah.
And I talk about Dear Lily Kate.
Mm-hmm.
And mainly her views on feminism, because she doesn't like feminism.
It's.
But yeah, can you speak a bit to what you think of her personally? after your conversation?
I think, well, she's 19. Apparently what you told me is 19. Allegedly she's 19. She's allegedly 19, and she's reading, and she's talking about this. I believe she's over her head. I don't resent her for it. I'm not gonna like gnash my teeth and like foam at them. You know, I'm not gonna be like that. I'm not gonna hate her for it, but I think she's over her head. I don't think she hasn't, and I can say this too. Somebody could say this to me. You haven't lived enough to experience what it is. And not only that, you're probably getting paid for this. I'm not.
Probably.
You're probably getting paid.
Like,
you know?
Yeah.
And think about what those boards are using, right? One is like modern feminism is bad. Or it's things that are like designed to catch a reaction. Inflammatory. And yeah, we need to have uncomfortable conversations. I 100% agree. But do not do it to farm clip. Do not do it to get somebody all hot-headed. You sit down at the table because there's more to talk about, and they're only giving you a certain amount of time.
How long did you have?
I don't know, maybe 2-3 minutes. I think so. I don't know. I wasn't keeping track of the time, but it wasn't enough. These conversations, you have to sit down with somebody like you and I are doing right now. Maybe have a cup of coffee and just talk.
Yeah, for sure.
Just talk. Have a cigarette and some coffee, or have a fucking smoke a joint. I don't care. You know, exactly. Like my politics. You could probably consider me middle of the road. I don't know, but you gotta find we have more in common than we do with than we think. We have more in common than what we have that we don't have. We have more in common with than what we disagree with. That's what I'm trying to say. This is just farm clipping, made to get a reaction, dopamine, you know, and somebody's getting paid for it. So she's 19. She has not seen a lot of the world. I don't think she's seen enough.
Enough to feel like she can take the spotlight.
Yeah, and get paid for it too. I think she needs to be a little more, see the world a little bit more, or just travel to different places in Texas. You know, it's not all about Jesus. I take it she went back to that a lot. She went back to Jesus a lot. Yeah. And I have nothing wrong with Jesus, right? I grew up in a Baptist church. You know, I went to a Christian school when I was in middle school. I have nothing against Jesus. But we're trying to stay on topic with what's happening now. You know, most of the people here, they don't care about, they do care about Jesus, but that's not on their mindset right now. They're worried about Epstein files. They're worried about Israel. They're worried about Iran. They're worried about gas prices. They're worried about cost of living. They're worried about the job market. All this shit. And she wants to talk about Jesus? You're 19, girl. Hold up. Slow down.
It's also like, why are you, for what reason are you talking about these things? Because it's like out of the good of my heart, I just want to, come here and say my piece about all the things I'm anti.
Yeah.
It's about, what incentives does this person have?
Yeah. I believe a good conversation should start with a disagreement. Because I think most of disagreements, right? That's how most people start talking. You have a disagreement. And then you start to find common ground. You know, like, what do you like?
No.
You dead?
My name's Brad. Oh. I like flowers. I'm wearing a flower shirt. I like cooking. I like baking.
I like cooking too.
I like San Marcos. It's a good town. I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like pontificates. Do you know what that word means?
I'm not that smart.
So, or like the Pope is the pontiff of the church.
Yeah.
The pontiff basically just means like the head figure who's does all the talking. And yeah, I mean, there's a, I don't know. I said, I forget who I said this to earlier, but I was like, the spirit of Charlie Kirk is visiting our school, and you know, all these, we've seen the microphone, you know, things, and people coming to campuses to argue with college students and all that stuff, and seeing it through your screen is one thing.
But seeing it
And
in real life.
yeah, and having, you know, just seeing it manifest where you go to school, it's like, oh, this is lamer than I thought it would be.
Yeah, you thought it'd be like more outraged.
Yeah. I was thinking like, maybe do I show up with my sign and give angry looks? But yeah, looks like things are all right.
Yeah.
Last thing, if you could you leave us with a life lesson that you've learned?
A life lesson? Ooh. Try new things, because even if you're scared, or if you're scared to fail, you overcome it and you make something. Guess what? You become a better person and you add more value to you and you find more confidence in what you do. Also, I am running for governor in 2034. You should definitely vote for me. Let's make Texas great again.
The first guy I interviewed is also running for mayor of San Marcos.
Oh.
So, you know, keep that promise.
You know, also, one more thing. Compliments have more value than an insult. Some people are just assholes for the sake of being assholes. But the compliments that you get hold a lot more value and are a lot more genuine. So don't focus on the insults. Focus on the compliments. There's a difference between insults and criticism. I believe you need criticism to grow, but don't focus on the insults. Work hard. Treat everybody the way you want to be treated. Show them with a smile and get a firm handshake.
Alrighty.